Hello, everybody. So we are live today, and today I have a guest on my channel, on my live. We had to reschedule our event a little bit earlier, so which is like all good. And like basically, if you were like in the invite for the previous event, you can go to my feed, you can see my latest post, and you can either watch the recording, like if you missed my live for some reason, or like you can join us now. So today we have Steven. Hi, Steven.
Hello, Eugene. How's it going?
It's going well. Steven and I would chatted, and like what I normally do, like I sometimes invite software developers, like iOS developers or not necessarily iOS developers, to on the show, and we kind of talk about software development. But today, I actually asked Steven if he wanted to do like kind of like hot seat life coaching live, and he was really brave, and he said yes. I kind of know your story. I kind of know your situation, right? But like, I don't know if my audience knows your situation, or like what is your like kind of like request? What is your problem? So like, can you share with us how can I help you today on this live?
Absolutely, Eugene. Yeah. So I am a software engineer. I have 3 years of experience. I am probably sitting at a junior level of experience right now. I recently lost my job in January and have been trying to find my next opportunity. I know this next opportunity is something I'm looking for to be a big career shift for me, something I'm really excited about, a job that I love to log on to and open up that laptop with excitement each day to do my job. So these are what things I'm looking for in a job, something I'm really passionate about. And I've just had a struggle a bit trying to just get my foot back in the door. Each time you're trying, I had a similar experience coming out of boot camp, trying
Mhm.
to land my first position. It took me around 8 months to land my first position out of boot camp. So I'm having a very similar situation now where I think the issue is I have some experience. So I'm not quite entry level, fresh out of college or boot camp. I have a little bit of experience under my belt, but I'm also not necessarily a senior level developer either. So I think that's kind of the struggle I'm having at this current time.
Okay, I got you. Okay, so what I normally like to do with my clients sometimes, I think it's important to have a commitment to a feedback and commitment to change, because commitment to like when we talk about like any kind of coaching, right, like sports coaching, it's not going to be like all cuddles and like feeling good. It's going to be feedback, and like sometimes coaching can be hard, and sometimes feedback for not necessarily the way we provide feedback, but the way we receive feedback can be hard. And the way I like to do with my client, one thing I like to do with my client, I like to do like kind of ritual, like commitment to change in feedback. So, like, if it is okay with you, like, could you put your hand on your chest and kind of repeat after me? I committing
I'm committing
to the change,
to the change,
to the feedback,
to the feedback,
and to my success.
and to my success.
All right. So let's get into it. So, you said that you have about like 3 years of experience,
three
or
years.
like,
3 years of professional experience, and I have an additional year of not on the job experience, but I was teaching students how to code.
okay, okay. So you have 4 years of experience,
Yes.
typically. So you have 4 years of experience, and I think your teaching how to code is, I would actually count as an experience.
Mhm.
Like I would personally count as an experience, and I kind of want to like reflect certain things that I heard from you. You said that you are probably like you're not senior, but you said you're probably more junior, and I kind of want to challenge that like statement a little bit,
Mhm.
if it is okay with you. So in my books, and and normally in the industry, we kind of see the same thing. A junior developer is from 0 years of experience with no experience at all, and up to 2 years of experience. After 2 years of experience, like closer to 3 years of experience, it is more mid-level. Because like at any like company, if company has healthy program where they grow their talent, you're not gonna sit for too long as a junior. You're gonna jump to mid-level developer probably after 2.5 years, like after 3 years for sure. And if you're not jumping there, then I would challenge, if I were in this situation, I would challenge myself going out there and going for the interviews and see like, is it me or is it them? Because sometimes it is you, sometimes it is them. So I would like, I like, after talking to you, right? After talking to you, I do not believe that you are junior, right? So I do not believe that you are junior. And I think here's the thing about like, and I think it's true for everybody who is looking for a job. And sometimes we are too hard on ourselves. And I think it's important to change your the way you think about yourself, right? Like you think about yourself as a junior. And also when we when we had a call, because a little background, Stephen and I, we had a call prior to this session, and like you shared something really interesting. You said it's really hard for us folks with like from non-traditional background, from non-technical background, because you are a music teacher, right? Or you're a musician.
Yes, I have a master's in music education, and I was a former teacher in a high school for 5 years before switching over to tech.
Okay. So like you said, for us folks with that, like from non-traditional background, it's a little hard. And this statement is true. However, you do have technical background right now. Like, yes, you are a teacher. It's your background too. Like, I'm a clinical psychologist. This is my background. I'm super proud of it. Like, this is why I do coaching, because like I like helping people. I believe that everybody deserves access to like wealth, career, and freedom. Right? Like the decent life. So this is what I do. This is why I do what I do. But my background, right? It's not just non-technical background. I'm also a senior software engineer. I'm also a senior iOS developer. So, and I'm also a QA engineer, like in the past. So my background is very technical. And your background, you've been doing React, you've been doing JavaScript, you've been doing all the technical stuff related to web for 4 years. So this is your background. Yeah. So like, you're not just teacher anymore. You're not just a musician anymore. It's in addition to what you have. Mm-hmm. Like, so your background right now is very much technical at this point. So you have 4 years. And like when you were saying that it's not on a job experience, teaching someone how to code, I would argue this is that can be a little bit harder than actually coding, because you have to explain things to someone else who have never done it before. Yeah. And it also like positions you in the job market in a way that you are a great leader. So, and you just need a few more years of experience so you can lead teams, so you can lead other developers, so you can grow junior and mid-level developers to get where you're at that point, right there and then. Absolutely. So and having background in education, having background in teaching, this is perfect soft skill. So like, because here's the thing, when we think about software, we think about hard skills, right? Technical skills, like, do we know enough Java? Do we know enough C++? Do we know enough I don't know, React Native, like Swift, iOS, but it's not just technical, right? Like, you have to know how to lead the teams. You have to know how to work with your junior developers, because at some point when you have even with your years of experience, like I would expect you to teach and help out junior developers and pick up the slack after them and mentor them and grow them. So this is what kind of like what I'm picking up. So I think the first call to action I would have for you is really change the way you think about yourself, because like your job offer comes from here and here. It doesn't come from a recruiter. It comes from you, because as soon as you position yourself as you are a solid mid-level engineer, the sooner other like everybody else will see you in this way. Because it's like when I saw your profile, by the way, you've done an amazing job on your profile. When I saw your profile, my first glance impression was, oh, he just out of the boot camp. Let me check it out. And then oh shit, he's been doing it for 3 years. Something is up. You know what I'm saying? So we all prone to imposter syndrome, right? I have imposter syndrome every single day. Like you have no idea in terms of coding, in terms of coaching, in terms of everything else. But we have to willingly change the way we think of ourselves, the way we talk to ourselves, right? So I would like to share like few things that also what I'm picking out from your from your profile, and I would like to share my screen if I can find it. I found it. Okay, so I know your time is limited, so I will kind of skip through it really quickly and kind of give you like points to think about my feedback, right? All right, where's that? So like here. So this is your resume, right? And this is something that you post, like maybe every week, maybe like every so often, right? Yeah. And we're gonna talk about posting here in a little bit. But what I would like you to change, because here's the thing: when we talk about our resume should be grabbing attention of our recruiter and hiring manager at hello, right? And when I look at your experience, if I were I don't want to say if I were a recruiter, because I'm not a recruiter, so I'm gonna get a lot of like slack from recruiters. So like, hey, you're not a recruiter. If I were I'm a closeted recruiter. Okay, like I'm always involved in hiring process. So if I were to look at your resume and I have a requirements on deck for a software developer for like around 5 years of experience, I will disqualify you immediately because you put 3+ years of experience. We already talked that you have 4. It is not 3 plus, and it's not your strongest point. So you want to start with a strong point, right? Putting your years of experience, this is not the strongest point, right? I would say for your experience, experience and you can talk about your industry, like in different industries that you work, right? Okay. So talk about industries, or you don't even have to put experience there because you have the whole experience section, right? Like that sentence doesn't even belong there. You can talk about your experience and industry in your section. So like that line, that very top line right there. And I think, it kind of going back that your first job offer comes from your the way you think about yourself and the way what you allow yourself to have in how you think about yourself. I think you're underestimating yourself, because you are capable of way more than that. So I would personally get rid of that. Like first of all, you're lying, right? You don't have 3+ years of experience. You have 4.
Mhm.
So like this is not accurate.
Yeah.
And like just put your like you have all of your like experience right there, like
Mhm.
in your experience section.
Okay.
So like this is kind of what I like when I was looking at your post. I'm like, oh, like 3 years of experience, and then I see your post, oh, 3 years of experience. I'm like, somebody needs to tell him.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Got you.
So like about your content, right? And like kind of showing up as like on LinkedIn as an expert.
Mhm.
I really like that. Like so, when we talk about content, right? We have normally like what 3 pillars, maybe 4 pillars of content. First pillar is you showing up as an expert, and the first pillar is you talking about your craft. And when I say you talking about your craft, you talk about React,
Mhm.
right? You give opinion about certain features in React that you like. You talk about certain like techniques that you know how to do, and like that pillar can be done through educational
Mhm.
videos, right? Recruiters will love it because here's the thing about recruiters. If it is an agency recruiter, he or she or they just got your requirements on deck. They have never worked with that before. They literally have no idea what you do. And when I got a lot of calls from recruiters and new recruiters, they literally would thank me like, Eugene, thank you for posting your iOS videos because I had no idea what I'm working on. And like your videos were real. And like they would be commenting on coding videos. I'm like, are you trying to go to iOS development? I'm like, no, no, no. Like, I
Right.
just need to understand what you do. Like this is helpful.
Mhm.
I know what to ask now. So like and so like your first pillar is your expertise, right?
Mhm.
Your second pillar is like kind of like your leadership, right?
Okay.
And when I say about like your leadership, you are sharing your perspective,
Mhm.
how you would have done things better. It
Mhm.
can be about like architectural patterns. It can be about like the problems that you have in React community, like people do things in one way, but like there's a better way to do it. So like this is a really good pillar, right? Like also like I'm not you can demonstrate it through like let's say talk about how to do PRs, right? Because
Mhm.
like you can do that as a leadership standpoint as well.
Mhm.
So like that's another thing.
Mhm.
So and the third pillar is your personal pillar, and you demonstrated your personal pillar really well. You're a
Mhm.
very positive person.
Mhm.
You are very personable. You are
Mhm.
very approachable, and like you are very pleasant to deal with. So we know that from your LinkedIn. What I'm missing from you is like 2 other pillars: your like craft, your specialty, because I literally have no idea if you're good at React or not,
Mhm.
because you have not shared anything React related. So like short videos, short like blog posts, article, whatever it is, like whatever, like video is the best form of like content, I would say. So um this is one feedback. And the fourth pillar that I keep in mind when I create content, right?
Mhm.
Either leadership content, personal content, my craft and my specialty, like my expertise content. I keep in mind my ideal employer. Who do I want to work for? Or
Mhm.
the industry I want to work for? And in my earlier videos, and like we kind of short on time, I would have found it. Like I made a few presentations when I created a small medical app
Mhm.
for kind of like scheduling or with notifications because I want to work in healthcare, right? I like working in healthcare, and I am like on like my day job, right? My software developer job. I work for a healthcare company, and
Mhm.
I didn't know at the time, but if you speak to your ideal customer, ideal employer, not necessarily directly, not like hey, like Disney, right? Like you do something really similar to what Disney does, or whatever your ideal employer is,
Mhm.
you do something similar to it. So
Mm.
if you enhance your content, talk about code, talk about leadership, how things need to be done,
Mhm.
and or how things need to be done better,
Mhm.
enhance it in a way that you speak to your ideal employer, and you already have personal attachment, personal piece of content, that would be really, really ideal. And that would complete your profile. And, on top of that, I would also share why you're a software developer.
Mhm.
Because I'm reading this book, and it says start with the why, and it's for businesses. But we as employers, we are businesses of one. You are a
Mhm.
business of one, and
Mhm.
people don't buy what, people buy why you do it.
Mhm.
People don't buy what you do. People buy why you do it. So why are you software? Why are you software developer? What you trying to change? Like what?
Mhm.
Why are you in this profession? Money aside.
Mhm.
Uh, so that kind of like feedback I have for you. And yeah, if you start establishing yourself as authority in React, as authority in software development, and
Mhm.
like your resume, that's great, but post it like maybe once a month.
Okay.
Like you don't have to post every week. Like
All
we've
right.
seen it.
Gotcha.
We've
Gotcha.
seen it. We've seen it. We
Yeah.
know it. We know you're looking for a job. We're
Right.
aware.
Right. 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 Okay.
Establish your executive presence,
Gotcha.
establish your expertise. So with that information, uh, what do you think? Do you have any, what resonates with you?
I think all of it. I think as a job searcher, you are trying to figure out the best use of your time. So even now, I'm starting to learn C++ because I'm noticing that a lot of jobs that I'm uh, applying for are looking for developers that are familiar with C++. And that was a language I was like, I don't need to learn that. That's a little archaic. Now I'm learning like, oh, maybe not, for some of the industries I want to get into or I'm interested in. C++ is the go-to. So I think all of it, I think, imposter syndrome definitely sets in when it comes to even posting content about React. React is huge. There's tons of people from Kent Dodds on down that have made their presence known in the React sphere and have basically came out as experts in the language. I think sometimes it's good to not to allow yourself to post content on languages and software development, and not to feel like you need to be an expert or it's about being an expert, but it's about your viewpoint. So I think it's definitely in line with some things I want to do. I know my next position, I'm looking for opportunities to lead.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why I've been stuck in like a junior mindset for so long, is because every single position I've been at, nobody's really asked, what do you think, Stephen? And I've had a lot of ideas. And this goes
Yes.
back to being an educator, teaching music. You're teaching extracurricular activity that is sometimes deemed not as important as the uh, core classes. So
Mm-hmm.
these are things that I have dealt with even in my former profession as a teacher, with nobody really wanting to know your
Mm-hmm.
opinion. You're really good at your job, but you're not the principal. You're not a core teacher. So these are things that I wrestle with, and I think it's the imposter syndrome is something very big, especially for me coming from underrepresented group in tech, thinking
Exactly.
feeling like I need to show up and be above and beyond, because I am a black man in tech, where less than
Mm-hmm.
4% of software developers are black
Mm-hmm.
uh, men. So, this is something that I've dealt with, and I'm something that I'm thankful for the push there. And I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna start posting some React content. I'm gonna start posting some. I have some ideas, even along the lines of, some ways senior developers can be better. When
Yeah.
I'm coming from teaching, and I realize that the issue with a lot of senior developers, I think they just don't know how to teach. They're not really good at that. That's not something that they got hired to do. They're really good problem solvers. They may be really good at fixing issues and debugging code, but they're not really great at mentorship, or they're not really great at
Mm-hmm.
teaching, disseminating all that's going on up here to
Mm-hmm.
those ideas and breaking them down to a granular level where a junior developer can consume them. So these are things that I'm very passionate about.
And you know what? Like as a leader doesn't need a permission to lead. A leader just goes ahead and leads
Yeah.
and asks for forgiveness later if he has to.
Yeah.
So like now, like and even though like there are a bunch of people who are leaders and experts in React, but like how many people actually watch those videos? Like very selected few people who are actively learning React, and people maybe somebody needs your perspective, right? And also like we're doing it. I mean, of course we're doing it for development community, right? For software developers, but we are doing it to put yourself out there. We're doing it for recruiters. We're doing it for hiring managers. It's kind of like your marketing material. Like, hey, I know how to do this thing.
Absolutely.
This is what I have done. And like, yeah, like I normally my coaching calls is like a lot longer, and like we kind of go like in pair, like I'm bouncing back ideas off of you, and but I know you have limited amount of time. So as a closing thoughts, like do you have any closing thoughts, like how this session help you or didn't help you? So like how you feel different now, like how how where you were before our call, before our conversation, and what changed, what turned for you now?
Yeah, I think the thing I'm walking away with is being able to speak from a place of expertise and being confident in that. I'm no longer a junior developer. I no longer have to think like a junior developer, and I don't want another junior developer position. I'm coming in really as a problem solver, as someone who's going to help your business move forward because of not only my software development knowledge, but my prior experience as a teacher, as being resourceful, having a master's in music education, knowing how to play multiple instruments. Like I have experiences that I think are very transferable, and I'm going to start speaking from the place of an expert and just speaking up more about things that are going on within my sphere, my ecosphere.
This is so beautiful because like, hey y'all, if you just joining us, go ahead and watch the beginning, because Steven like, well, I'm kind of looking for like, I don't know, necessarily like senior role, maybe junior role. So and like when we delve into his experience, like y'all, like y'all, you're not junior. Like leave those jobs for junior developers. They need them. You don't need those jobs.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I thanks a lot, Eugene. I mean, definitely was some transformative ideas shared here, and I'm walking away with a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you are a recruiter, like definitely hire Steven, because like I spoke with Steven like in private, and obviously you saw him here on the call, because like this is nothing I made up for him. Like it was in him, it was in his experience. It was just not quite connected here and here. So, but when it's connected, like everything is connected, like he's a decent mid-level developer with perfect leadership skills, and like he can lead your team, and he can lead your product, and he can be an amazing asset to your company and to your team as well.
Thank you for that vote of confidence, Eugene. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I know you have to go, and I wish you luck. Definitely let's catch up online on LinkedIn and stay in touch.
Okay. See you, Eugene.
All right. See ya.